Hi everyone, I'm Chandler.
I'm Ryan.
And welcome to episode 10
milestone episode
of our podcast called Turning to Truth. Welcome back, everyone.
Yeah, so welcome back to another week. We're excited to keep filming these for you guys, and thank you once again for all the continued support. We are on day 15 of the 55-day soft challenge. And
we're on day 15. It's been 2 weeks. It's been really good. We've gotten into habit of stuff that we're doing every day. Do you want to talk about your felt good, felt heavy? What's God nudging you towards?
Yeah, so what felt good this week, a lot of things felt good, but I put the gym.
Oh, nice.
I've been really enjoying working out. And then what felt heavy this week for me was reading the Bible 1 to 2 times a day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just reading it more in depth, I think. Every time I did do it, it was more of a quicker session.
Yeah.
Because it felt like just checking it off, I gotta read it, versus spending more time to do it. And then I felt like nudging me more this week to serve him more.
I put that ways to serve.
Yeah.
Those are good ones.
What about you?
Mine was, what felt good this week was reading the Bible, so that's funny.
Yeah.
I felt good every time I read it. I feel like the more I'm reading it, the more I'm starting to understand and take away.
That's
and
good.
Then I obviously journal right after, so it's good. I remember what I thought about the verses. So
what are you still in Romans?
Mm-hmm. I'm in Romans. So good, but it's so convicting still. But that's good. And then what felt heavy is still the walks.
Was it that last week too?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, I don't know why. I like going to the gym more than going on walks. I think it's because it's been so cold, but whatever.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. I think I put walks for what felt good as well.
Oh.
Because I was going to say I saw yours and it was funny because it was flipped. It was heavy for you. But there's been days where we've forgotten to go on a walk, so it's 11 p.m. at night. It's 20 degrees outside, and we're here we go. But honestly, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's good to get outside in the fresh air, and then the stars where we live are so beautiful.
Yeah, they're so good.
So I've enjoyed just looking up on a walk. So
I need to do that. I need to be more excited to go on a walk.
Be more excited to read the Bible.
True.
That's okay.
And then what I felt God was nudging me towards was serving this week. Ryan and I just really felt called that we need to step into our community at church and start serving or start being part of a life group. So we got in touch with the connections team at our church, and then we're going to get set up with something like that. But we'll have to keep praying about it and see where and what team we're being led to. So that's exciting. Yeah. It's exciting to find community now that we just moved to a new place. So
yeah, super exciting.
It's really fun.
And an update on the 7-day fast.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to do it with us, we're pushing it back a day.
Yeah, we're pushing it back a day.
Monday the 26th through February 1st.
Yeah. And we also read some in Matthew, and we decided we're not going to take you guys along that journey. It's going to be private for us, and we're not going to share, because in Matthew it says that it should just be a private thing. So if you want to do it, you should. And we are telling you about it because we want you to be inspired, but we're probably not going to share a lot during that 7 days just because we really want to focus on our time with Jesus. This week, we're going to be talking about releasing the past and moving toward the future. It got talked about in our sermon this week at church, and then we were like, this would be a great topic for a podcast episode. And so we just decided to go into it because after church, we were talking so much more about it, and then talked a lot about stuff that maybe wasn't said in the sermon that we wish we could have heard. And so we were like, this will be a great episode to talk about. So we kind of just want to have everything we talk about be pretty much just let go of what's behind you and step into what God has for you in your future, because a lot of times holding on to something in your past can hold you back.
Yeah, for sure.
And God isn't able to open the door to what he's calling you towards if you don't let go of something in the past.
Yeah, and I think a subtitle could be Forgiveness is a Superpower, which you like to say, because that ties into this well.
Yeah.
And that's the main way a lot of times to let go of the past that's dragging you down.
Yeah,
forgive.
We're going to go full circle into forgiveness, starting from letting go of what's in your past, how to look towards the future, and then what is the solution for all of that? Forgiveness. And then we'll go into talk about that a little bit more. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I was literally sitting in church. He's like, you can't cling on to your past. And I was like, I feel like I do. And my good friends know this about me. I'm super a nostalgic person. My Snapchat memories mean everything to me because I know at any moment if I'm missing a memory, I can go back and look. And I don't know if that's very good, because there are a lot of times where I wish I could go back and do something again, because I was sitting there, I don't want to like be thinking so much about the past, but I think it's just normal. A lot of people do that, and it's hard to look so much toward the future. And I also think sometimes I am so afraid of messing up like I had done in the past, so then it like limits me. I'm more fearful going into like future. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then there's also like the switch of, I think it's good to like learn from your past to make sure you don't go into the future doing those same things.
Yeah, definitely.
So I just think, I don't know, do you have anything that like you've held on into the past and then, I don't know, it holds you back kind of?
Yeah, I can't think of a specific example right now, but I was going to add on to what you were saying about like your memories. And it's just often like if we live in the past, it just can bring up bad emotions, because if you remember, or like if you get a memory of something like it was a sad thing that happened, then you're going to be sad again, so you're going to feel that emotion again. And if it was something good that happened or happy, like it's great to be grateful and relive that, but also it could make you like covet it, or oh, I wish I was doing this, or oh, that was so fun, like I want to do that again, or like
and covet things of the past.
I miss my time there, or I miss these people. Like that's all fine, but I think it can kind of weigh on your present and future.
Yeah, I see what you're meaning. Like you wish you could go back and do something, and then
Instead of being like grateful for the moment you're in now, because in a year, if you look back on the memory of now, you might be thinking like, oh man, that was great, I was so happy.
Yeah, exactly. And it can be the same for like someone did you really dirty way back when, and when you go back and think about that time when someone hurt you, it kind of hurts. You gotta kind of get a pit in your stomach about it. And I've gone through certain things where I've felt hurt by someone, and I had like looked back and I'm like, oh, I do not like that person, I'm not gonna be around them, they hurt me so bad. And I had to get to a point where I had to forgive them without really even, I don't know, not even getting an apology or something, to like be able to move forward with my life, because I was holding on to that resentment. And I think the main question is, why are we attached to things God is asking us to release? Because there were times where I needed to release that like grudge or bitterness, I guess, and I wasn't. And God needs us to, because once we can move forward in our journey, we can grow. And so, I don't know, are there times where someone's done you dirty and then you're like holding on to it, and then they never apologize? Yeah. And then you're like,
often,
I just have to forgive them without them knowing, I guess?
Yeah, often we wait for like the person who was in the wrong to be the one to apologize. That's just what seems right. But if you release it, it's better. It's like those grudges, that anger, that bitterness really is like a weight on you. It's an anchor. And like that person could not even be in your life anymore, or whatever. But like if you still hold on to that, they're still affecting you negatively, even though they're not actively doing anything to you.
Right.
So like you're amplifying whatever hurt. Like if you got hurt by them, and by just holding on to that grudge, like you're continuing to let that person, that situation, that outcome hurt you.
Right.
But if you just release it, you can move on from it. You can have the scar from the past, but you're not carrying that with you in the present and the future. Yeah,
and specifically, there's so many times, and I've been in situations like this, where like two parties are fighting. I say parties because I'm used to like working in a law firm, but two like sides of, I don't know, you could say two people are fighting, and one person is like, well, I didn't do anything, I just need to wait for them to come apologize to me, and the other person's saying the same exact thing, and it's just like, no, that's a whole arrogance thing, and that's mixed with bitterness. And if that person feels that way, they're never going to come apologize to you, and if you feel that way, and so nothing's ever going to get solved, and it's just going to be like this continuous like buildup of stuff that's hurting you, when you could just fully let go and just, I don't know, have the mindset of like, what would Jesus do?
Yeah.
And move on. And I don't know, in Ephesians 4:31 it says, was it Paul who said this?
Yeah.
Okay. He says, get rid of all bitterness, rage, anger, harsh words, and slander, as well as all types of evil behavior. And it is kind of explaining how bitterness and wounds keep us struck. They keep us held back, like what we were just saying. And God continuously in the Bible invites us to release all of that and to forgive, and don't let it reflect your heart, because it doesn't reflect Jesus' heart. Does that make sense?
Definitely. Yeah, and I think the same could be said of not only just forgiving and letting go, but also not fighting back, not rebuttaling, not getting, revenge. Because that's just going to make every situation worse. If someone does something bad to you and then you just try to do something back,
revenge.
Then they might do something bad again, and it just makes the situation worse.
Or like, you're no better.
Yeah.
And there was something we're talking about too, is you have to forgive for whatever someone did to you. And it's so hard because that could be one in a million things and a range of good or bad or whatever they did. But you have to forgive them because Jesus forgave us for every single thing we've already done and are going to do. And I feel like that's like the big motivator.
Yeah, that's like the big guide as a Christian.
Right.
Like, if you feel like it's hard to forgive this person for that, you remember like Jesus already has forgiven us for not even our past sins, but our future sins we haven't even committed yet.
And I've also, not the guy, in the sermon, he had said, forgiveness allows us to learn lessons of the past without lugging around baggage from your past. So it's okay to forgive someone and then change your lifestyle and not have to be around them. That's totally okay. But I also feel like things sometimes need to be sorted out, whether that be with your time with Jesus or with that person, or else that person will always have that bitterness or you will. And so I just feel like sometimes you don't realize the pain that you put on someone, and sometimes they don't realize the pain they put on you. And so it's really good to just spend that time with Jesus and figure out a way to like release that grief, bitterness,
Yeah, and that unforgiveness and bitterness can kind of tear down or ruin relationships, separate people, friends, family, whatever it may be, versus reconnecting by just becoming the bigger person.
Exactly.
And learning to forgive like Jesus did. And I know it's easier said than done.
Right.
It's hard.
And it's been hard for us to forgive people who have done that to us in the past.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyone who's done anything wrong to me in the past, I've like completely forgiven them.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know what they were doing in that moment, or maybe they did. But I just have to move forward with my life, and I can't let the people who hurt me from my past still like sting to this day, because it only hurts me. And I don't know, I feel like everyone can say that, but you really have to think about that, because you could think, well, it's not hurting me being mad at them, but it subconsciously is, and it's keeping you away from
your
Jesus.
Mood down, attitude,
and it's literally you have like a wall up with Jesus, because you have to be fully how he is to be able to have a full relationship with him, which is what he would always forgive. So
another thing that the pastor said was, of course, they're not deserving of the forgiveness,
but neither are
we. So what's the difference?
Exactly. So it's a tough thing to talk about, but it's such a big thing right now.
It can take time to obviously be great to forgive instantly, but it can take time. So like if there's something 10 years ago in the making and you're still holding on to it, like it's not too late to forgive.
Or still things are unsettled and it's been years.
Or it's not too early if it happened today or yesterday, whatever. Like you can still forgive right away.
Yeah. And a big sign is if it happened years ago and you're like, well, that doesn't affect me, but then still inside it still kind of makes you mad.
Or if you're still thinking about it.
Or if you're still thinking about it, if it's living in your head, or you're constantly talking about the bad things someone did to you, or like that it didn't work out, that probably means that you need to release it because you haven't fully forgiven them or the situation. And I'm just saying that for personal experience, because that would happen to me. I'd be like, no, I'm fine, I'm over it. Yeah. But that person was not nice, like, and you just start like going and talking about it again. And it's like, wait, that clearly means that I'm not over it.
Yeah.
And I haven't fully forgiven that person. So it takes a lot of reflection, but we wrote down some points that will help what releasing the past actually looks like, and breaking this into like practical steps you can do for help for everyone.
But before you start, what you were just saying, I would like to add that the same goes for apologizing. I do this a lot too. Be like, I'm so sorry, but you did this, or I only did that because of that. So it's kind of like a not full, sincere apology.
What are those
I think
called?
That's common.
Backhanded apologies?
Yeah, maybe. There's like backhanded compliments.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Be sincere with your apology.
Yeah, like the same can happen.
God knows your heart,
bitterness.
And your heart will show through like a real apology. Like, it has to be genuine. It's such hard stuff. Me and Ryan struggle with this stuff all the time, and that's why we're talking about it today, because it struck us when we talked about it this week at church, and then we were like, I feel like other people need to hear about it. If that's something we struggle with a lot, is like letting go of whatever happened in the past.
Yeah, and to be honest, we saw a lot of people getting moved in church that day. Like a lot of tears were shed, so I feel like it can definitely be a big topic for some people. people
Yeah.
that might need to hear it.
Yeah. So,
Go ahead with the points you had.
Oh yeah, the points. The points to like help you get past there's something in the past that you need to let go of. We wrote these down. Naming what you're holding on to. So really just identifying what is holding you back, what is giving you bitterness, grief, why you can't get over that. First, identifying it. Number 2, acknowledging the emotion without letting it define you. So you never want to be like, this situation is giving me anxiety, so I just have anxiety, you know? You don't want to call the emotion like negatively. Like you should acknowledge them, but you shouldn't make it a negative emotion and then let it define you.
Oh, also, I'm going to add on that. Like you shouldn't give the emotion power. And this is something that I've gotten better with, and I'll see in Chandler's life, or I'll still struggle with it. So I always try to tell her that. So we're talking about, I guess this is kind of off topic. It's in a different direction. We're talking about, letting go of the past. But sometimes we can let the future also drag us down.
Yeah. Like when I don't want to work or something, I'm like, it's Sunday night, I don't want to work on Monday.
If you have, I'm a big culprit of it too, and I think almost everyone is. If you have something you're dreading coming up, next week, a month, tomorrow, like Sundays as a kid were always tough because you start the school week next day.
Yeah.
And I didn't like school, so it was hard. But I've come to the conclusion that when you live in the future like that, you almost experience it twice. Mm-hmm. So say you don't want to go take a test, and obviously taking the test is going to suck. So you have that negative feeling, but also you're letting it ruin your weekends and kind of experiencing that emotion from the test twice. Mm-hmm. So that's just a point I wanted to add. Try not to let future things also hold you down. Try to live in the moment. Enjoy your Sunday, because when you're at school, you're going to be wishing you were at home on Sunday. So that's just an example.
So that's another good thing for the opposite.
Yeah, be grateful in the moment.
Yeah.
In the present.
So the next one is choosing forgiveness even when it's slow. So that's something we were just talking about. You can't just, obviously, it's not realistic. We haven't gone through it, forgive someone right away.
Yeah, it takes time.
Takes time. Do you know I had to get over a situation where a friend hurt me in the past, and the only way I was able to fully forgive the person and get over it to help myself was to write down in my journal, I forgive them, every day when I was writing my journal. And you just have to get that going, you just have to keep it consistent, and it's slow, but eventually you'll start believing what you're putting down. And so that's something that always helped me. So choose forgiveness even if it's slow. The fourth one is replacing old narratives with God's truth. So you could have come up with something in your head that you thought was the truth when really that was just something you made up.
Yep.
And the best thing to replace it with is God's truth, because that's something that always will be true and alive and will always point you towards your success and your purpose that God has for you. So replace whatever you think you know about the story or what happened to you with God's truth, because no matter what, God has every certain type of situation in the Bible that you can look back on and see an example of how God handled the situation. And the last one is letting God reshape your identity. So God is here ready to, I guess, reform you, because we're always trying to better ourselves. And after that, going through all the forgiveness and stuff, that's when God's able to open the door.
Yeah.
A lot of people say once you close the door from the past, another door opens, and God can reshape your identity to be able to give you the strength to open that door.
Sure.
So those are little steps to help you let go of what you're holding on to, and we have to do that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the majority of this podcast is we're talking about letting go of the past, forgiving others, or letting go of what other people did to you. But I think a big part that was, missed in the sermon too in church, wasn't talked about, that I would like to talk about, we would like to talk about, is also forgiving yourself and not holding on to shame, not holding on to guilt, not holding on to regrets. We all have regrets, and those can also be a big anchor weigh us down if you live through the past and replay a situation over and over in your head. You have to understand more the full picture of God's grace to be able to not hold yourself to such a high standard.
Right.
It's great to seek to be the most like Jesus every day, but no one's perfect. So if you try to be a perfectionist, then you're going to be hard on yourself until you understand, if you slip up, if you did something wrong, instead of letting that define you and have those regrets, if you can just forgive yourself as well,
then you're able to forgive
then
others.
You can let it go. Yeah. And maybe that person forgave you, but if you did something wrong to someone else, if we flip it, if you were mean to someone, whatever, even if they forgave you, I think it's common you still feel bad bad, like you still
Dude, and
think about it.
that's what I was talking to you about. We went to lunch after the sermon, and I was like, I don't feel like I need to forgive anyone right now. I feel like anyone who hurt me in my past, I forgive them, and like I moved forward from the situation. And I was like, but Ryan, I feel like there's people like I've probably been ratchet to in the past, and I hope they forgive me. And that was like what I was thinking about the whole sermon, and it was making me sad because I was like, I want to be able to like hope that other people forgive me for like stuff I've done in the past, because obviously I'm not perfect.
But
So
yeah, you can't control that.
Can't control that.
You can just be a better person and forgive
yourself.
Because if you don't forgive yourself, you might make the same mistakes or not become a better person.
Exactly.
Like we're talking about how God can build you if you just let the door close.
Exactly.
Sorry, there was a verse I wanted to also say with it. Just quickly, just to kind of reaffirm us of God's grace. I mean, it's all over the Bible. But this is Psalm 103, verse 12. And this psalm is titled, Bless the Lord, O my soul. And that song we were singing.
Bless the Lord, O my soul.
Yep, exactly. So that song comes from this psalm. But anyways, verse 12 in it is, as far as the east is from the west, so far does he remove our transgressions from us. So that's just, I mean, like I said, forgiveness is all over the Bible, but
all over.
That was just a lighthearted one.
Yeah.
From a psalm.
And it's a good reminder.
Yeah.
Listen to that song if you want. It's good. So move forward into the future that God has for you. Ryan and I need to work on it. Invite God into your future and not just your past. Obviously, sometimes people have to work through their past to get to their future because people let it affect them, the past. So just move forward because God has shown so much grace, like what you just said in the sermon, and ask him to show you what he's growing you towards and what your purpose in life is, and practice gratitude for what's coming in your life and not just what's behind you or what you did in your past, and surround yourself with people who speak life into your future and create space for new things and new opportunities and things that aren't going to make you constantly keep looking back onto your past. So that's just kind of what we wanted to share. We hope you got something from this. We're still trying to figure it out, and that's why we're just sitting here like kind of bouncing back and forth talking about it, because it's such a hard thing. But we realize how much of it is an important thing because we've seen it in our lives and we see it in other people's lives around us. Like when you hold on to bitterness consciously or subconsciously, like it hurts you and you're unable to move forward with Jesus. And we just encourage you to know that God never asks us to let go of something without giving us something good, something else good to hold on to.
Yeah.
So you always be assured that promise, because God always takes care of us no matter what's going on. And if you have that trust and reassurance from the Bible, you'll have so much more peace in your life and you'll be able to move forward.
Yeah, that's great. And I want to emphasize again, please forgive yourself, because Jesus has already forgiven us and he's perfect. He's God over all the universe and he's forgiven us. So why can't you forgive yourself?
Right.
And the reason I'm saying this is because that's something that's really helped me. I got a situation.
And I think, honestly, forgiving yourself can be more of an issue than forgiving other people.
Yeah, I think so. That's why I was like kind of disappointed it was missed in the sermon. I feel like it's such a big deal. But maybe that's just because my past experiences, like I had a situation where it was really the only way to fully move on from it and not let it continue to weigh me down and eat at me, even if others had forgiven me.
Right. You don't want to let it define you.
It took me forgiving myself to really be able to move on from it.
Right. Yeah, and that's it's so important to just help yourself. To help forgive yourself is to know that God already forgives. Jesus died for our sins. He already forgave us. And so that is something that can help you move forward.
Yeah, and so many of the main people in the Bible are people who did some terrible things, but then had like a turnaround.
Yeah,
so
because God believed that they were better than that.
Yeah.
And Christ can strengthen you.
So no matter what you've done, it's not too late to turn around, find Jesus, he forgives you, and become a better person.
Yeah. So our challenge for this week is invite yourself to reflect on one thing that you need to release and one thing that God is nudging you towards again, because we want to have that be another challenge this week, because that's our challenge every week since we're doing this 55 thing. And if you are participating in the 55 days with us, we just hope it's going well. You can let us know how it's going, and we just pray that you can keep knowing that Christ will strengthen you through this 55 days, and hope all of the things that we put on, the challenges, that they can become habits like what we hope for ourselves. And
I do want to say, I think the weekly reflection has been great. That question, what is God nudging you towards? Because I feel like it's really helped me listen better.
Right.
And I just saw an example. It's silly, but like in school, if you had to like fill out, like when you had to watch a movie in class
And fill a review or
and
whatever.
you had to, but there was questions, so you knew what you were looking for.
Oh, right.
It would be like, what happened here? Or I guess it's the same when you're reading a book too. Like in school, it's like, what is this? And then when you read it, you're looking for the answer. And I think that's the same when we prompt ourselves with the question. Like it could be any question, but like, what is God nudging us towards? It helps me listen to try to figure out constantly throughout my day, like find the answer of what he's nudging us towards, versus just not having like a prompt, I guess.
Definitely. I agree with you that us asking that question every week to ourselves, what is God nudging us towards? It really has me thinking of the next week of like,
we're like listening
what is nudge?
better.
Yes,
more
exactly.
intently.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So yes, that's what we have for this week. We hope that it was fruitful, that you learned something, that you can go out and forgive someone or forgive yourself and just let go of that bitterness and move forward with what God has for you.
Yeah, and we've gotten some questions.
Oh yeah, we got
Anyway,
some questions.
The Q&A is pending. It's in the
Q&A is
works.
pending.
So please
Ask
keep
us
submitting.
more before we do our video answering all of the
Yeah.
questions that you guys are
If
asking.
you've already asked some and you think of more, shoot them away.
Or if you haven't yet, go ahead and send us your questions and we'll be happy to answer them. I'll probably put something on Instagram where you can just easily ask us questions and then we'll go and answer those in an upcoming video. But yeah, we want to hear from you guys and we want to give you the best we can. We want to hear your feedback if we're doing a good job, because we're really just winging it.
What should we talk more or less about?
Yeah, exactly. Because we're just flying off the seat of our pants. Like we just are doing this because we want heaven to be crowded.
Yep.
So we post on YouTube and Spotify. It's Turning to Truth Podcast. And then we post on Instagram. And then
our email
is voice@turningtotruth.com. And then our Instagram is Turning to Truth Podcast. So go and subscribe, like, watch our videos, or just give us some feedback. And we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for the support.
Thanks for the support. Love you. Bye.
Bye.